Hi, I'm happy to announce that 2023, the third and hopefully final installment in the controversial 2020 franchise, is over. It wasn't the best year. A lot of terrible things happened. There was a lot of disruption caused by new technologies. I became a YouTuber. But how did this year fare compared to what people thought it would be? That's what today's video is about. So I love predictions and prophecies. I find them very exciting. When I read one, I cannot wait to see whether or not it comes true. But usually the problem with predictions is that they are talking about the future events, and to check whether or not they come true, I need to wait for a while. And while I'm waiting, things keep happening, and usually I just forget about the prediction, so I never get closure. But recently I discovered a life hack. What if I read predictions about events that are already in the past by now? This way I get all the excitement and none of the wait. So I googled predictions for 2023, right after 2023 came to an end, and I got pretty much three types of predictions. The first one is boring predictions about the stock market and stuff like that. We are not going to dig into these. The second type is coming from this very fun Twitter thread by Paul Fairy. This thread went viral a year ago. A lot of websites found it and created articles based on it, and now finally I am creating a YouTube video based on it. The third and final type of predictions is Nostradamus. Look at how many Nostradamus results are just on the first page of Google search. Oh wait. Okay, apparently there is no such thing as the first page of Google search anymore, because even Google search has to be an infinite scroll for some reason. I love the future. It's so technological. I only wish that the bottom half of the screen was taken up by Subway Surfers gameplay or stuff like that. This way I would never stop Googling. But anyways, that's a lot of predictions from just one guy who lived like 500 years ago. Why was he so obsessed with making predictions for the year 2023? What a weirdly specific year to make predictions about, from 1555, I think. That's when he wrote his famous predictions book. So anyway, for this video, we are not going to talk about Nostradamus. Initially I wanted to, but I feel like this video would be way too long if I include that, so I will talk about Nostradamus in my next video. Today we are going to talk about the predictions from 1923. And we are going to make a tier list, of course. Here are the categories I came up with. The top one is frighteningly correct. The second one is mostly or soon to be correct. The third one is partially correct. It's like some parts of the prediction are true and other parts are not. The fourth category is way too vague. I created it specifically for Nostradamus. It will probably be empty because we are not going to talk about him, but let it just sit there. And finally, the lowest tier is no. Are you stupid? Let's see what people in 1923 thought about what the world will be like 100 years into the future. The first prediction is the workday will be 4 hours long. Well, that is true, at least for me. Technically, I work 8 hours a day, but I procrastinate a lot and I sit on useless meetings a lot, so I would say 4 hours of actual work is correct. This one goes to partially correct. The next one is women will blacken their teeth and shave their heads because it will be fashionable. Well, while there are women who shave their heads because it looks cool, I don't think anyone blackens their teeth because it's fashionable, so I would say no. Are you stupid? The next one is radio will replace gasoline. So it sounds very incorrect, but if you read the actual article, it's more about using radio waves or any kind of electromagnetic waves as an energy source. And while airplanes definitely do not fly on that, the microwaves do. They do not fly, they heat your food using electromagnetic waves. So I would say it is at least partially correct. The next one is all people will be beautiful. Well, this one is 100% true. You are very beautiful. Let's see what's next. Life expectancy will be 100 years. The average life of man could be increased to 100 years. In individual cases, it could be increased to 150, perhaps 200 years. I don't think that's true, but as far as I know, in some countries, girls born today have a good chance to live up to 100. So it is, I would say, soon to be correct, and it goes to this second tier. Next one is people will wear kidney cozies, and they will be used on chilly days to keep your kidneys nice and warm. It is unfortunately incorrect, because I like my kidneys nice and warm. So if you want to create a startup but do not have any ideas, start making kidney cozies. Just make sure to send me a couple, because I gave you this idea. This one unfortunately goes to no Are You Stupid tier, but I hope it's going to be correct soon. Moving on, men will curl their hair. Okay, so just like with women shaving their heads, some men do curl their hair. It's just not very trendy right now, so it goes to the bottom tier, unfortunately. Next one. The US will have a population of 300 million. Well, this is scary because it's almost exactly correct. The prediction was made 100 years ago, and it's only off by like 10%, so I would say it is frighteningly correct, and kudos to whoever came up with this number. What's next? Canada will have a population of 100 million. Alright, this one didn't age as well as the US one. I mean, Canada is getting there slowly but surely, but it's still not even halfway there, so no. Are you stupid? Utensils will be made of pulp. Okay, that is partially correct. I'm pretty sure some of these single-use utensils are made of pulp, so that goes to partially correct. Flights from Chicago to Hamburg will only take 18 hours. Well, a direct flight is just 10 hours, but if you want to travel with a couple of stops to save money or something, then you can travel from Chicago to Hamburg in almost exactly 18 hours. So this one is frighteningly correct. Newspapers will have been out of business for 50 years. This one is a bit premature. Newspapers definitely still exist, but for the last few decades, they have been dying out and replaced by online misinformation that you can like and share for free. So I would say partially correct. Let's move on. The next one is private kitchens will disappear. Okay, that didn't happen. But if you read the actual article, it's not saying that we will not be cooking food at home. It's saying that the food will be full of chemicals and sweeteners and stuff like that. So that is definitely true. We'll also have these concentrated protein, vitamin stuff available. So I would say it is mostly / soon to be correct. What's next? Cancer will be eradicated. Oh well, I wish it was completely true. But actually it's not that far from the truth. Many types of cancer are very treatable now, at least compared to what we had 100 years ago. And some of the diseases listed here are either manageable or eradicated, like leprosy, for example. I think leprosy is no longer a thing. So I would say it's mostly correct. It's mostly correct. And hopefully soon it will be completely correct. Because of the mRNA vaccines that are very good against cancer and stuff like that. What's next? War will be wireless, and we might have telepathy. Okay, we do not have telepathy, but the article actually describes something like drone warfare, or at least remotely controlled weaponry, which is definitely in use. And while it didn't render everything else obsolete, it is shaping modern warfare, so I would say this prediction is partially correct. And final prediction is people will communicate using watch-size radio telephones. Alright, well, this one is 100% true. I would definitely put it in frighteningly correct. So, here is the final tier list. I would say I'm surprised. People were pretty smart 100 years ago. Probably because they took their time to actually think and their attention span wasn't nuked by staring at their pocket-sized radio telephone all day. So I think it's time to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do. I don't need to teach you how to use YouTube. If you disliked the video but still waited until the very end, then thank you. I admire your discipline. I don't know why you did this, but thank you still for the view. I hope to see you beautiful people next time when I talk about Nostradamus and his prophecies. How will they compare to the predictions from 100 years ago? Well, spoiler alert, they are pretty bad, but they are very funny, and I will talk about it next time. Until then, bye bye.